Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video and another unboxing and first impressions. Today we have two models from Atowak. Atowak is a new brand that launched on Kickstarter, and I'll leave the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description. And they make pretty unique watches. Both of these models are pretty unique, with one being exceptional and reminding me of something very exclusive, the URWERK watches. So let's open the nice leather boxes that have, as you can see, this lid, and you have the watches on the pillows. The boxes are the same regardless of the watch, and you have two models with different color options for each. Both are called Ettore, as per the founder of Bugatti, Ettore Bugatti, since they are inspired by supercars. And here you go. The one on the left is called Etore Light, while this one is called Etore Drift, because this one uses a system similar to the URWERK, I believe UR202 or something like that, where you have this wandering system where the hours slide showing you the minutes, and then the next one comes, but it has to be rotated to display the next hour. But I'll explain that in a second, because this one is definitely more interesting. Let's take a look at the Light first. Both share the same case, which is 45, I believe, millimeters in width and 41 or 40.5 lug to lug, which makes it wear well on even a small wrist like mine. The Etore Light is gonna retail for $650, but if you join their Kickstarter campaign, the price drops to $350, which is pretty okay. It has a sapphire crystal. This is a black IP coated steel case, and a Miyota 8215 that doesn't have hacking, but it does come with hand winding. And this one is pretty straightforward. I mean, it does have this nice curved case, which is also inspired by supercars, and it looks a bit exotic, but the time display has been seen many times. Basically, you read the time like this. You have the seconds, which just spin, you have the minutes, and you have the hours. I'm going to show you how it looks when I set the time so you get the picture. So this is a very unique way of looking at the time, but something that I have seen many times, especially on designer watches. Overall, it is a pretty cool watch, although when I put it on my wrist, it is a bit big. So let's move this away. Let me put it on my wrist. It comes with Italian leather strap, which is pretty thick, and it does feel quite comfortable once I put it on my wrist. So let's zoom out, and as you can see, it is a big watch that takes a lot of, that has a lot of wrist presence, but because of the 40-something millimeter lug to lug, it is pretty wearable. And it looks pretty unique. These watches both are gonna be conversation starters for sure. Now, let's move this one away and check out this one, which is very impressive. This one will retail for $1,200, but again, if you join their Kickstarter campaign, you can get it for $650. And this one raises the bar quite a bit higher than that one. Firstly, it's powered by a Miyota 9015, so it comes with hacking, hand winding, and a higher beat rate of 28,800 bph. But you really don't care about the beat rate because you don't have the seconds hand. Now, what's unique about this is that they created a system where they kicked out the seconds, they kicked out the hours. So this is actually only the minute hand, but the minute hand is made so, as you can see, it moves like this and shows you 60 minutes, but you have a wandering system where you have this cross, and each of these crosses, so you have four ends to the cross, each of them carries 3 pointed star, because 3 times 4 is 12, so it can display 12 hours. And the way you read it is you have this, as you can see, this hand that's showing you now the hours, and the tip of that hand shows you the minute, just like on the URWERK. The only difference is, and these always have to rotate. Sadly, they decided to hide the rotation system because it probably rotates like here. So as you can see, you have this one 8 and then this one 9. If we look at the hand that's gonna go after 9, it shows 6, and now it's 9. However, when that hand comes to this, it has to rotate and not show 6, but see, it goes to 10. So each one of these, so let's take a look at this 9. It's gonna have to display 12 once it gets to the next location. And there you go. So the way it does is you have a 3-pointed star that has a little indent in it, and you have a little pin here. So once it reaches that pin, the star comes and it just rotates to the next position, and then it circles like this, and then it rotates again, showing you another. While on the URWERK it's a bit more complicated because those rotate vertically like this. On this one, it's everything is in one plane, so they rotate horizontally. However, it is still very impressive. I mean, this is a time display expected from like hyper watches that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and here you can have it for 650, which is pretty impressive. Now, usually when people offer me these kind of watches for reviews, you know, they have a bit of an unusual time display. They're usually the level of this. This is not very complicated. You just use discs instead of hands, and then you use apertures or openings to read the time. But this really took some effort, and the watches are not really that heavy. I mean, they are, but not too heavy, because they use aluminum for most of these things, the hands, the dial, and everything, so it's pretty light. I really do like it, and like I said, this is not a type of watch that I wear usually, but as a conversation starter, you will get noticed, and people are gonna ask you how this thing works, especially this one. This one is very, very impressive. And I'm really liking that micro brands are now getting into this exotic timekeeping, which is pretty cool and pretty original. Now let me put this one on the wrist, but since the case is the same, it's gonna wear pretty much the same. There you go. And both come in a variety of color choices. So if you don't like these, this one is pretty monotone. You have ones that have a contrasting dial or contrasting stars that show the time, so you will find something that you like. Overall, pretty cool, and probably the most original watches that I have featured on my channel, especially this one. Now, this is the unboxing and first impressions, so I will be doing a detailed review after I spend some time with them, with macro shots to see how well the finishing is done. But before we sign off, I just want to do a lume shot, because I believe these have pretty cool and unique lume as well. So let me just charge both for a second. Let's do this one. Okay, let's put them in front, zoom in a bit, let the camera focus, and turn off the light. There, and look at this. You even have the lume applied on the cases, and you have the time reading lume. So the lume is pretty decent, I have to admit. I mean, considering it's just like small areas and fine printing, but as you can see, you can easily read the time on both of these. Over here you have the minute disc that is lumed, and the hands and the hour markers. While on this you have all of these. Let me just see how it operates, although not all of them are now lumed, but pretty cool. Wow. And I really do like this detail on the disc. It looks like something from Tron movie. Pretty cool. Anyway, so that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Like I said, if you like these watches, and if you're considering getting one, do it with the Kickstarter campaign, because the savings are like 50% almost. So it's at those prices, they really are pretty cool and a pretty good value. At retail price, they're getting kind of expensive. But again, if you compare this to something like the URWERK, I mean, it's 1,000 times cheaper. So if you really like something like this, exotic, and you want a watch that's gonna draw attention, because this is gonna draw attention, because I mean, 45, it's gonna get noticed, but it's pretty wearable. Anyways, that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. And like I said, stay tuned for the full review. Bye.